Let me be real with you for a second. Right now, you have one client. Maybe you found them through a referral, maybe they reached out to you, maybe you hustled incredibly hard to land them. And they are paying you. But here is the brutal truth that nobody is talking about. One client is not a business. One client is a job you could lose tomorrow morning. And I know exactly what that feels like. You wake up and that one client is everything. They are your entire income. They are your entire confidence. And somewhere in the back of your mind there is this quiet, terrifying voice whispering, what happens if they leave? What happens if they cut the budget? What happens if they just stop replying? And you cannot shake it because that voice is not irrational. That voice is completely right. So today I am going to show you the exact framework that turns that one client into a scalable service business. Not a side hustle, not a gig, a real, systematized, repeatable business that generates revenue whether you are working or not. And before we go deep into this, I want to be transparent with you. We do have a program linked down below in the video description that goes much further than anything I can cover here. If you are serious about building something real, go check it out now because the people who act early are always the ones who actually get results. The ones who say they will check it later almost never do. That is just the pattern. So if you know this is for you, go look at it now and then come back here. But let me give you the real substance first. Here is what most people with one client do. They work harder for that one client. They over-deliver. They say yes to everything. They discount their rates to keep the relationship. And without realizing it, they become completely dependent on someone who owes them nothing. You are essentially building someone else's business while your own has no foundation. The moment you internalize that, everything changes. So let us start at the beginning. The very first step is understanding what you already have that is more valuable than you realize. You have proof of concept. You've already done the thing, you have already delivered a result. And that result, that transformation, that outcome you created for your one client is the seed of everything that comes next. Think about what you actually did for them. Be specific in your mind right now. Did you save them time? Did you bring them more customers? Did you organize their chaos? Did you make them more money? Whatever you did, there is someone else out there who needs that exact same thing done. Not one someone, thousands of them. But here is where most people get stuck. They think they need to completely reinvent what they offer before they can scale. They think they need a perfect website, a perfect brand, a perfect proposal template, a perfect everything. And while they are perfecting things that do not matter yet, time is passing, money is not coming in, and that one fragile client is still the only thing standing between them and financial panic. Stop doing that. What you need to do instead is extract a repeatable process from what you already did for your one client. Walk backward through the project. What did you do first? What did you do second? What was the turning point where your client started seeing results? Map that out. Because what you just mapped out is your service system. And that system is the thing you sell over and over again. Let me make this even simpler. Imagine you helped your one client generate more leads through social media content. You did not just randomly post things. You probably researched their audience, identified what their customers cared about, created content that spoke directly to that, posted consistently, and tracked what worked. That is a process. That process has steps. Those steps can be documented. And that documented process can now be delivered to client number 2, client number 3, client number 10, without you starting from scratch every single time. This is the difference between trading hours for dollars and building something that scales. Now here is where it gets really powerful. Once you have your process documented, you have to stop thinking like a freelancer and start thinking like a business owner. Those are two completely different identities. A freelancer competes on price. A business owner charges for outcomes. A freelancer says, here is what I do. A business owner says, here is the result you get and here is exactly what it is worth to your bottom line. That shift in how you position yourself changes everything about how clients treat you, how much they pay you, and how long they stay. Let me paint you a picture because I want you to really feel this. Imagine two people who both do the exact same service. One of them sends a message saying, hey, I do social media management. My rate is $1,500 a month. Let me know if you are interested. The other one sends a message saying, I work with businesses in your industry who are leaving money on the table because their social media is not converting. My clients typically see a measurable increase in inbound inquiries within the first 60 days. I have a specific process and I only work with a small number of clients at a time, so I can guarantee quality. Are you open to a quick conversation? Same service, completely different world. The second one gets the call. The second one closes the deal. The second one builds the business. Because here is the thing. People do not buy services. People buy certainty. They buy confidence. They buy the feeling that someone knows exactly what they are doing and has done it before. Social proof, process, and positioning are what create that feeling. And you already have the raw material for all three. Now let us talk about acquiring more clients because this is where most people feel the most stuck and the most scared. The fear of reaching out to people is real. Rejection feels personal. Silence feels worse. You send a message and nobody replies, and you start wondering if you are actually good enough, if your service is actually worth anything, if you should just go back to a regular job. I hear that. I have seen that happen to so many talented people. But here is what they were doing wrong. They were reaching out cold, with no context, no warm connection, no social proof visible, and no compelling reason for the person to respond. You are not bad at sales. You were just missing the infrastructure that makes selling feel effortless. Here is what actually works. Start with your one client. Ask them for a testimonial, not a generic one, a specific one. Ask them to describe exactly what problem they had before working with you, what happened after working with you, and what they would say to someone who is on the fence about hiring you. That testimonial is worth more than any advertisement you could ever buy. Then take that testimonial and put it everywhere, on your profile, in your outreach messages, in your proposals. Lead with results, lead with proof. Let other people's words do the heavy lifting for you. Then identify who else has the exact same problem your one client had. Go find them, not in a spammy way. Go find communities, platforms, conversations where people are already expressing that problem. Engage with them genuinely, add value, be helpful, and then when the time is right, mention what you do and what your clients have experienced. This is not a trick. This is just being a human being who solves problems for other human beings. And it works. Now let us talk about the thing that separates people who stay stuck at one client forever from people who build real businesses. Systems. I know that word sounds boring. I know systems sound like something a corporate company needs and not you. But systems are literally just decisions you make once so you never have to make them again. A system for how you onboard a new client means you are not reinventing the wheel every time. A system for how you deliver your service means quality stays consistent whether you are energized or exhausted. A system for how you follow up with potential clients means opportunities do not fall through the cracks. Without systems, you are always reacting. With systems, you are always executing. And here is the beautiful thing about systems. They create leverage. And leverage is the difference between working 80 hours a week to make $5,000 a month and working 30 hours a week to make $5,000 a month. Same output, half the input. That math changes everything about your quality of life. Now let me show you the real trajectory here because I want you to see the numbers and feel the possibility. If you have one client paying you $1,500 a month, that is $18,000 a year. That is not freedom, that is survival. If you take the process you use for that one client, document it, position it properly, and land just 4 more clients at the same rate, you are now at $90,000 a year. Before expenses, yes, but the structure is there. Now add a system that allows you to deliver at a higher quality in less time. Add a referral mechanism where happy clients send you people without you lifting a finger. Add a pricing structure where you charge based on value and outcome rather than hours. And now you have crossed into a completely different financial reality than the one you were living in with that one fragile client. That is what is available to you. Not someday. Now, with what you already have. But I have to be honest with you. Reading this and nodding along is not the same as doing it. Knowing the steps intellectually is not the same as having the structure, the support, and the accountability to actually execute on them. Most people who consume content like this feel inspired for about 48 hours and then go back to exactly what they were doing before. Not because they are lazy, because inspiration without implementation is just entertainment. That is why the program linked down below in the video description exists. It takes everything you just heard and goes 10 levels deeper with actual tools, actual templates, and actual guidance for people who are serious about making this shift. Not people who are curious. Serious people who are done watching others build what they want to build. If you have watched this far, you are not the casual viewer, you are someone who actually wants this. And the people who go take action right now, today, not after thinking about it for 2 weeks, those are the people who end up looking back a year from now completely unrecognizable from who they are today. Go check it out in the description below. The version of you who waits is the version of you who stays stuck.